Ashina's POV. At the beginning, it's all cliché and normal. "So, you're Ashina Hartz?" I nodded and smiled lightly. I applied as a waitress in a bar near our village. The salary is not that big, but that'll do for me, especially because I didn't want to depend on my stepmother and stepfather's support for me. "You're not yet legal. How am I supposed to hire you?" The red-headed middle-aged woman raised her brow. I gasped, yet was so ready for my answer. "I'm turning 18 next year, and I promise my age will not be a hindrance for me to work in your business." I convinced her. She seems hesitant about my reasoning, but I can also see that she's convinced by the way she protrudes her lips. She couldn't do anything. I may be 17, but my body looks mature and almost like a well-grown woman. She later glanced at me and suddenly her brows furrowed. "What's wrong with your hair?" she asked. They're all right." I stuttered a bit. "Your roots are white, yet the ends are black. Did you dye it?" she asked curiously. I get her. My roots started to grow white a few months ago. My stepmother explained to me that my mother used to have long silver-white hair, who I've known to be Luna. I didn't have time to explain everything to her, so I just changed the subject. "Please hire me. I need this." I spoke. She sighed, "And that's how I get to work for my needs. See? It's all normal. Just a teenage lady who seeks experience and dreams of being an independent woman." "Mom," I called my stepmother one morning. "Ash, it's almost night. I told you that you don't need to work. Are we starving you for you to pursue that?" she asked warily. I just grinned and reached for the loaf of bread on the table. "I need this experience, trust me," I convinced her confidently. She sighed and shook her head. Obviously, she doesn't like the idea of me going to work every day. "We are so fine in this country, Ash. What experience are you still talking about?" Are you going to send me away too, like what my parents did?" I asked with a smile on my face. Her face became serious. "I'm joking." I laughed and came to her to kiss her on the cheeks. "Bye. I'll be home early." She was about to say something, but words didn't come out of her mouth. I sighed, thinking about what we've talked about. I hope she'll not dwell on it that much. It's true, my mother is Luna and my father is an alpha, which makes them the leader of their clan. I don't know, somewhere far from here where I will not be able to see them. I'm a human, and I have no doubt about it since I've been living like one since then. No changes at all. I don't smell pheromones, just like what my step-parents used to tell me, and convinced them that maybe it's the reason why my parents gave me away, because I'm not like them. I'm fine here. I love my life, and I don't have any hope of seeing them and living the life of being a werewolf. I desire to be normal. I don't look forward to being one of them. Not until this one night happened. "Ash, are you all right?" my co-hostess asked me. Shivered traveled down my spine as I felt the unfamiliar sense of me. It's like some strong force is trying to be unleashed inside of me. My breathing started to get heavy and I smelled the strongest scent I've ever smelled all throughout the years of my existence. "Yeah, can you bring this to table too?" I pleaded. "Of course, you should rest. You look fidgety," she uttered and left. I sniffed more when she left. I rubbed my arms as I felt my hairs standing up. I concentrated as I'm still feeling the heat inside of me. It's like I need to do something to let this pressure inside of me lash out. I think I need to go home now. I spoke to myself. I told my boss that I'll do undertime because I'm not feeling well. Gladly, she understood and let me go. I was in a hurry as I walked into the dark parking area of the bar, and as I got closer, the scent became stronger and stronger. It sits into my nose and it seems to affect my senses more. I'm more alert and more like a predator looking for its prey. I shook my head and walked, but soon my steps halted. My eyes went straight into the car and into the man that's inside it. The smell of warm fur and a strong scent of mixed cedar wood and musk embraced my nose. It made me dizzy, and as I grew more of that scent, my teeth clenched and rubbed into each other. I groaned inside and shook my head, almost waking up to the slightest sense that's following my inner persona. I turned my back 360 and walked my way home. That went on for how many days, weeks, and soon became a month. I stared at myself in the mirror. My deep winter gray eyes are now wide open. My white strands of hair are now half the length of my hair. And that's when I realized this is not normal anymore. I tried to conceal it all, but not all the time can I do it. The image of the lean and tall man appeared again one night at the bar. I stared at him with the same overwhelming feeling I'm having every time I'm seeing him. His lashes were long and it made his eyes even more enigmatic. His hair is the darkest shade of black, the same as his eyes. I gulped. I wonder how it would feel if I ran my nose into his neck. His smell is out of this world. I clenched my teeth again while feeling the slow revolving of my world. His dangerous eyes suddenly darted into me. My mind suddenly went back into the realm of reality, seeing his eyes curiously and madly looking at me. I turned my back again so that I would not see him, trying to act so normal. "Ash, I'm sorry. I feel so sick today. Can you please bring this to the mart and ask for a refund? It's broken." My stepmom handed me a box, I think some electrical wires. "Of course, just rest, Mom," I suggested and walked my way to the nearest mart. And again, with the accidental and unpredictable encounter, I bit my lip, confirming the reason why I'm suddenly feeling the unfamiliar itch under my skin while I'm nearing the mart. As soon as I opened the glass door, I saw him on the counter, and I gulped nervously because his head turned in my direction right away. His cold eyes beamed as he raised an eyebrow at me. "There you go again. My heartbeat is going wild, just like what it is whenever he's around." I couldn't take my eyes off him. My body was ogling deep inside, but I tried to remain calm. His scent is too strong and my face is heating as he continues to stare at me. He walked into my direction and halted in front of me. I almost cursed when he stopped. What now? He should have gotten away before I could not even stop myself. He cocked his head on the other side as he checked me out. I'm suddenly feeling conscious wearing my simple pair of clothes. "Move aside, miss. You're blocking my way." Coldness dripped into his tone. I gasped and immediately moved aside, realizing that I'm causing congestion at the door. I shut my eyes tight as his presence bids its goodbye. There, I'm sure that he's the one who's triggering this static inside of me. I need to know why I feel like that every time he's around. Ace's POV. "Alpha Ace," my subordinate called me. I tried to just ignore him and walk towards the entrance of the high-ceiling doors of the castle. "Alpha." I groaned inside my head and finally turned my head into the voice's direction. "What now, Lucas?" He bowed a little and his lips went in a grim line as he saw my not-so-good expression. "Ulva is on the phone," he uttered. I coldly turned my back to him and walked the wide hallway of the castle's entrance. I felt him trailing me from behind. "Tell her I'm out. She said she'll come here personally to greet you with a happy birthday." My ears flared in annoyance, and I harshly faced him again. I tried to tame the wolf inside me, but it just felt like my wolf is the one who's taming me. Apollo halted, and I saw his surrendering expression. "Do as you told," I simply said, and finally calmed myself down. He bowed his head, defining his obedience. My shoes clacked in the cold hallway of the castle again. It echoed at the hugeness of the hole. It sounded empty as what my heart had been feeling for a long time now. This day is my most hated day so far. I have a rule for this day. No greetings, no mentioning of what is to be celebrated today. From what I've been counting, I'm supposed to be 20 today. It's been a couple of years since my parents, who's the leader of the pack, left me. They died in an accident the same day as my 18th birthday. That's what I've known so far. I've known too well that I'm destined to be the alpha, but I never thought that it would be this soon. I questioned my capability in handling the clan, yet at a young age, I still seem to seek my own will to handle what's ahead of me. I don't want this day to pass. If only I could remove this day in the calendar, I'll gladly do so. But then, here's Lucas reminding me of my painful past. As well as Ulva, who's my mate, that was chosen and arranged by my parents. She's just like the others, a desperate woman who chases the title of being a Luna. I was never in favor of the idea of her being my mate, but now that my parents have died, I can do nothing about it. Breaking the arrangements will just cause some conflicts between clans, and that's not what I want to happen. So now this is all I can do. Run from all of them while I still can. I filled my lungs with the fresh breeze outside. Seeing the light almost blinded me, but this way I feel free. Apollo was left inside the castle while I'm out again. My sight is nailed into the lady walking towards the entrance of the bar. The same girl I've been seeing for how many times now. She thinks I'm dumb to not know what's her real deal. One sniff, and I immediately smelled her scent that's so far from human. Even from afar, her scent is strong enough for me to not notice it. The way her eyes look at me like I'm sort of fine dining makes me disgusted. At first I didn't care. I told Lucas to look after her background because she seems to be popping out just out of nowhere as long as I'm in there. I'm not an alpha for no reason. I know her moves and I know her tactics. Born without a wolf, Lucas told me while eating my dinner alone at the long dining table of the castle. A human, you say? I smirked. Yes. I chuckled and continued eating my food. I knew it. Useless. She's living simply just like a human with her parents here in... I'm not interested. That's all I need to know, I uttered coldly. But after months of seeing her, I sensed something different. Not just her physical appearance that had changed, but her pheromone. It's too strong as time goes by. I kept on ignoring it, but when I lay in bed at night, her scent is committed into my memory. And now seeing her again looking so fidgety as she scanned the whole place, I know she knows. She's sensing me, and probably smelling me just like what I'm doing. And then I saw her at the mart one day. Her hair is growing silver white, and her lashes are becoming more defined. I couldn't help but to sniff her when I went in her direction. Her scent is new to me, meaning I have not encountered her pack yet. She smells like vanilla and has a strong scent of amber. Smells so sweet that I'm having a hard time if that's her pheromone or her shampoo's scent. But that's what I've been smelling even when she's afar. Move aside, miss. You're blocking my way. Damn, I'm just probably curious. Her fragrance urges something in me that makes me want to lose control. I'm so disgusted thinking about the thought of desiring this petty human. My patience hit the roof as I watched her from my car. I went outside and banged my car's door. I sensed that she had seen me now. I pretended to not notice her and walked through the entrance of the bar. I hissed when she purposely blocked my way, but deep inside I celebrated when she did that. What? I raised a brow. You're here again, she stuttered. Why? Were you waiting for me every night? I mocked. Bitterness dripped into my tone. Her lips parted and nervousness appeared into her face. I am Ashina, she offered her hand. I glanced at her with bored eyes. I didn't even bother to offer my hand. Ashina, I uttered inside my head. I gritted my teeth, feeling the strong urge inside of me. Looking at her gray eyes reminds me of something. Ace, I said, and before she could even say anything, I went inside the pub before I could even do something dumb. She's a human, Ace. Stop. Ace's POV. Alpha, I strongly suggest that you stay here until the break of dawn. The full moon will be up tonight, and it's not good for you to stay outside as the other wolves might. And what? Stay here until Ulva comes? I smirked at Lucas. He once again was shut out of my words. I fixed my casual clothing before wearing my trench coat. I stare at myself in the mirror and glance at the dusk outside the castle. But Alpha, Ace? Shut up! I burst and growled at Lucas. He immediately bowed his head as a sign of surrender. Lucas is older than me. He's the son of my father's apprentice. No wonder he knew the rights and the wrongs more than me. I'm hard-headed, and I always like to do it in my own ways. I know what you're doing. I spoke with no emotion. He's silent and not looking into my eyes as his head is bowed down. I breathed harshly as I turned my back to him again. My jaw protruded in a harsh way as I heard the howling as the sky slowly turned dark and the sun was soon replaced by the brightest and fullest moon tonight. Choosing my mate was the only decision that's left in me. The free will that's been way too long robbed from me. So just stop it, Lucas. I uttered and left the castle. Ashina's POV. I paced back and forth inside my room. A strong kind of heat is forcing it to come out inside of me. I need to go to work or else I'll be late. But my mood is so different today. I've been so extra sensitive today, not to mention a stray cat that I hissed a while ago, like as if the cat has done anything bad to me. I'm already dressed, but I still feel fidgety. I palmed my face. Damn it, this is not good. Should I not go to work tonight? I feel sick but not sick at the same time. Is that even possible? I feel restless, even though I didn't do anything the whole day. I feel hyper and active, yet I feel exhausted. This is so damn confusing to me. Mom and Dad are out. I don't know where they go, but the point is, I have no one to ask what the hell is happening to me. With my patience hitting the roof, I stood and grabbed my bag and went out into the house so I could go to work and distract myself. The streets are well lit by the full bright moon. I can't help but to think about the beliefs and norms of the werewolves. But I am a human, so I don't give much attention to it. I walked onto the pavement as I still wondered what sickness could I possibly have with these symptoms. Should I go to the hospital tomorrow? Arriving at the bar, my workplace. I thought all would be all right. But now things have got so much worse. Damn, he's here? The familiar smell captured my nose again, and for months that I have been appearing around him, I am so sure that that scent is from him. I started to get more fidgety. I sighed hard as I brought the drinks to table 4. I almost stumbled when I saw him eyeing me from the other table. He has this hard expression like I just did something bad to him and I need to pay for it. My knees shook as I turned my back to them. Catching my breath, I came to the counter. The bartender approached me right away. "This is for table 8. He handed me that drink. But instead of serving those drinks, I jug 1 glass in 1 shot. I felt the burning scratch that flowed into my throat. I shut my eyes tight. "Fuck!" I groaned. "Hey, that's for the customer." The bartender hissed at me. I don't know what's gotten into me. Instead of settling things, I even jugged the other small cup on the tray and another episode of burning pain happened. "What the?" I'm sorry, I was in the middle of looking for the right words when a cold voice cut to the current situation. "Charge it on me." I felt like being splashed by a cold bucket of water when I heard the voice. I turned my head, expecting to see his face, and I'm really not mistaken. It's really him, Ace. No, I can pay for it." I stuttered. My knees are weakening, smelling his intoxicating scent. Damn, how could he be this handsome? He looked so untouchable and unapproachable. He just glanced at me with his cold eyes, then sat at the high chair. I was nailed into my position. I totally forgot my purpose here just because I saw his face. Or is it because of the 1 shot of tequila? I was about to turn my back when I lost my balance. I stumbled a bit, but felt an arm snake on me right away. My breath hitched. Seems like a wildfire has spread inside of me being this close to him. I stared at his eyes. He lifted me up, and all I know is that I'm sitting in the high chair just beside him. I need to work," I said, still amused. His brows furrowed timidly. "You're tipsy with a single shot. I doubt you can work," he simply said. He signaled to the bartender, something which I didn't understand. He reached for a shot and drank it without a pause. I watched his every single move. He's so manly and daring just by those simple moves. He slid another cup onto the hardwood countertop and leaned into me. I almost stopped breathing. His face is so close. My heartbeat thumped so loudly that even with the loud music, I could sense that he's going to hear it. "Who are you?" he said. "Huh? Who are you? And what do you need?" I swallowed the building pressure in my throat. An evil smile is showing on his face as he scans my face, like he's reading the emotion that I'm hiding. And so, without being sane, I pressed my lips to his quickly. It's so quick that I longed for it just after I did it. I gulped. He looked surprised and mad, but he didn't say any words. Something is itching inside my skin, like a strong aura burning holy. I'm not yet content. The desire to feel his lips again played inside my mind for that short period of time. I celebrated when he granted my wish. He brushed his lips into mine without any words. Ace's POV. "Holy," I growled, seeing the sleeping lady beside me. I woke up with a light feeling only for me to see her. "Ashina?" She opened her eyes, maybe because of my harsh movements beside her. I stood up immediately and wore every piece of mine that I could see. I glanced at the window and light was peeking through the curtains. She looked stunned, seeing me. Her cheeks are pinkish and her hair is messy. I felt the growing rage inside of me. This couldn't be real, right? Am I drunk? Is this a dream? Damn. I cursed. I clicked my neck and walked back and forth, looking for my shirt. "What?" "You did this on purpose." I accused her. "What are you talking about?" "You know what I'm talking about. Don't play dumb." I cursed and finally saw my shirt. "Ace, she couldn't find her words. "You are so desperate. You are nothing but a useless human," I shouted. Tears formed into her eyes as she sat into the bed with the blanket covering her body. Something in me ached looking at her, but I chose not to dwell on it. All I can think of is the scene from last night. I just mated with her, a useless human born without any wolf. Stop with your ambitions. You will never be Luna. I yelled at her, leaving her so miserable. Frustration and conscience didn't leave me. So without any explanations, I left the country, hoping for that memory to be erased. Ashina's POV. I hurriedly removed my name pin and my apron from the locker room. No, I'm not running out of time. I just can't wait to finally be home after a god-long, tiring day. It's so tiring to go to college in the morning and work an 8-hour shift in the afternoon up until night. It's not just tiring. For 4 straight years, I felt so tired that no sleep or rest could ever make me feel at ease. It's like a never-ending marathon. It's a kind of tiredness that consumes my bones. "Mommy! Ash, baby!" I called him and opened my arms for a warm embrace. "And this is my rest." Yes. That one night may have been a mistake and brought me pain and suffering for the succeeding years, but Ashina Hartz, my son, is the only one who kept me going. "Mommy, you're home early." His different colored eyes gleamed as he reached my face with his short arms. He's almost 4, which means 4 years of the past that's still clearly embedded into my head. After knowing that I'm pregnant, I badly want to tell him that he got me pregnant. I know I don't have any assurance that he'll accept me and our baby, but still I want him to be the first one to know. But what are the odds? Every night I would wait for him in the bar, hoping that he'd show up, but he didn't. I don't know anything about him except his strong smell and aura that I never felt and smelled after that one night of us. So I had no choice. After a month, I told my step-parents that I got pregnant. Of course, they are mad and furious. I'm not even in the legal age to have a baby, not even starting out college, yet I got pregnant already. I cried for long nights, feeling so alone and useless, thinking that maybe this was the reason why my parents had abandoned me. Because they already predicted that I would be just a failure. But those nights are replaced with good nights, with my son beside me, his tiny hands holding mine whenever times are tough and tiring for me. I said to myself that I can bear it all as long as he's with me. Yes, baby, because I'm missing you. I touched his small nose and kissed him. He giggled. My heart fluttered. Those tiny giggles are heaven to me. What I'd do is just to hear him laugh. "Come on, let's go inside," I invited him. My step-parents are inside for sure. They also soon accepted both of us, and I admire both of them for that. My parents might have disappointed me, but the best thing that they did was to give me to these people. Such a kind-hearted being that's ready to accept and help someone that's not their own. I grabbed my son's hand to guide him inside, but I felt him not giving in. I looked back at him. His eyes were weary and curious, which made me worried. I knelt back at him. He's seriously looking at my arm. The way his forehead made creases reminds me of his father. Even his thin red lips, which he also got from his dad, are in a straight line. He's really the perfect reflection of his father, except for his skin complexion and different colored eyes. It's all from his dad. "Why? What's wrong?" I asked worriedly. "What happened to this mommy?" he asked cutely. I glanced at my arms that had a bandage. I chuckled raw as I saw what he was talking about. "Oh, Mommy got into a slight accident," I spoke. "The truth is a bowl of soup accidentally poured into me." "Don't worry about Mommy, I'm fine," I convinced him. He pouted and was still looking at it. It's like feeling a warm hand cupping my heart seeing him this worried. I hugged him tight at his level. "Mommy loves you, Asiel. I'll do anything to protect you," I whispered to him. The intercom on our campus rang, and the students were immediately alerted by it. I stood up and fixed my things so I could finally go to the stadium to attend the 27th conference of the university's Congress. It's my last year in college. One last year for me to graduate, and I'm all set to find a perfect job for a living. "Ma'am, may I know where the stadium is here?" a stranger asked me. By my judgment, she looks like a freshman. "Oh, I'm not a professor, I'm a senior here." I smiled. She seemed stunned. "I'll be going in there. You can just go with me." She accepted my invitation. I spoke to her while walking to the stadium. To be honest, I'm quite used to them being mistaken that I'm a professor or some staff at this university. My body is matured compared to my peers. My long silver-white hair was so eye-catching when I came inside the stadium. This hair even brought me into some complicated situations. The guidance even called me out because they were so interested in my hair. They think this is some wig or what. I couldn't blame them, though. This is my parents' genes. I could do nothing about it. The program started just a few minutes after that. I don't even know what this conference is about. I just want to get this done right away so that I can go home to my son and embrace him. Christ, this will be a long one, said the lady beside me. She seems bored. This will be just about those hypocritical rich people, she hissed. My brows furrowed, but I chose to just ignore it. That's right. I heard that there will be a speaker and some famous people in town. And for our speaker, here's Ace Cunningham. The whole audience inside the hall stood up and applauded, but I was the only one who's left seated. My eyes are fixated on the man that's going up onto the stage, perfectly dressed in a black suit. His long hair is now gone. It's cleaned cut and his body became more broad. Or is it just me? My heart palpitated seeing him. I remained seated as I didn't know how to react. It's been 4 goddamn years. What a small world to see him here. I gulped when his eyes immediately went into me. His eyes that screamed danger looked so familiar to me. I almost stopped breathing, thinking that he would notice me. That could not be, right? It's been years, and that's just one freaking night. If I wanted to see him, that's a long time ago and not now. I don't need him. My son and I don't need him. Ace's POV. That will be all, Jake. No buts. I gritted my jaw hard and sat into the chair in my room. I portray the face of being an alpha, just to remind him that I'm the leader here and my commands should be fulfilled, not the ficking other way round. Ace, it's been years since you've been gone. Those people are looking after. I said no buts, I growled in anger. Damn it. I uttered no buts, he said bluntly. I stood up harshly and my trench coat flew gracefully. I held his collar and showed him what he's messing into. Who are you again? I asked mercilessly. He didn't show any emotion, didn't even flinch at my sudden warning. Lucas Boris. And what are you? I gritted my teeth hard. Your subordinate. He can't even look into my eyes. Just a subordinate. I put an emphasis and let go of him after. I protruded my jaw and sat again on the large chair of my room. That human is in that conference. Who the hell are you to put me in that annoying situation, huh? I complained. I'm sorry, I didn't know about that. Of course, you don't know. That's all you can say, I yelled. I jugged the rum into my glass because of madness. I will soon review the guests that will attend your appointments, he bargained. No. He didn't speak. I can't help but to think about that woman. It's been years, 4 long years, and my first visit is for me to see her? What the actual heck is wrong with that lady? Is she really trying to magnet herself to me? I was so mad seeing him at that university that all I could do was pretend that I didn't know her. There's this part of the program where the students who are running for Laude will be shaking the hands of the guests. Touching her palm disgusted me. I just managed to act like I don't care about her presence. But that couldn't be. How can I not notice her when I see her long silver-white hair standing among the rest? I was so disgusted by her presence. Thinking about how she managed to mate with me is so hard for me to swallow. No? Lucas echoed my words. I nodded and sipped my rum. Don't work on that. I'll make you deal with some matter, I said seriously. And what? I didn't answer him. An evil smile appeared on my face while thinking about what's about to happen. She wants to stick with me? Then I have to at least do something. Ashina's POV. Oh, here's your mother. My stepmom and dad were already at the dining table together with my son when I came home. It's late already. I look at my son pleadingly as I reach him and kiss him. Asiel, baby, I'm sorry, I pleaded. He just smiled lightly without looking into my eyes and continued to eat his food after. I sighed and looked at my stepmom's eyes. We all have the same thing in mind. My son may be young, but his mind isn't. He's mature and acts like a grown-up sometimes. Though his tiny body couldn't hide his real age, when he talks and acts, he can be mistaken as a grown man. I'll promise I'll be early tomorrow, I said sweetly. He smiled and nodded, then back to the food again. I look at my stepmom to ask for some help. Asiel, do you want to take a bath now and play with your toys after? My mom said. Asiel's amused face showed up and nodded. All right, go with Grandpa. He stood up and kissed my cheeks, then went with my father. I sighed and leaned into the table. I felt so tired and guilty seeing my son like that. Tough day at work? Asked Mom. I nodded and tied my hair. Your son is growing up. He keeps on looking for you, Ash. I know. Thank you for taking care of him. I sighed. It's all right. She offered me a plate so I can eat my dinner, but my conscience won't let me. And so when I couldn't take it anymore, I spoke up. You should eat. I saw his dad this morning. Mom stopped. She glanced at me confused. His dad? Ace's dad? I nodded. Ace's tour speaker a while ago in the... Ace? She cut my words. Yes, I answered confused too. Ace what? Ace Cunningham. I saw her eyes widened in fraction, like she's surprised or something. That's Asiel's father? She asked again. I looked at her with curious eyes, but I nodded still. Yes. I saw him this morning, but gladly, he didn't seem to recognize me. What do you mean he didn't recognize you? And what are you trying to say, Ash? Don't tell me you don't have a plan of telling him that he's the father of your son. I didn't answer and just stared at the food in front of me. Ash! She's out of patience. Yes, I answered back. She gasped. I don't have any plans of telling him. What? Why? She sat in the chair and seemed to not understand what I'm saying. Clearly, she doesn't agree with my plans. Because that's what it is, Mom. Thinking about our mistakes from the past, if he's really a good person, then he could have at least had the decency to apologize about what happened between us. But then what did he do? He left me with those hurtful words. Person? That's her reply after all my venting. I ignored her. And now that we have a son, I want to protect him at all costs. If he's not a good man from the start, then he will never be a good father of my child. I explained again. You didn't know? She asked me nervously. Didn't know what? I echoed her words. That Ace Cunningham. My brows furrowed, waiting for her words. He is an alpha. She spoke. What? Alpha? I chuckled faintly. My stepmom nodded in awe. I shook my head nonchalantly. I think you are more tired than me, Mom. I scooped my food, not minding her concerns. You think I have time for jokes, Ash? I stopped. I am telling you the truth. I remained stoned. Now she's sounding so serious that I want to believe her. Cunninghams are one of the famous packs around Europe, and it's because of the power that they hold that they became more the talk of the town after Luna and the Alpha died because of an accident, and now their only son is left. My heart beat wildly. I don't want to believe her, but the way she spoke convinced me. Mom would never joke this way. Not about werewolves and all that shit. And their son is... I couldn't continue, because it seems like, by uttering his name, I'll also be admitting that I'm believing her. Ace Cunningham. My lips went in a grim line. I breathed a deep sigh before acting like I heard nothing. What's your decision now? You must tell him that you both have a son. No one's telling no one, Mom. I uttered coldly. I heard her gasp. I glanced at her seriously. Either you're telling me the truth or not. I ain't gonna tell him still. I saw the hint of disagreement in her face. Before she could even tell me anything, I cut her already. If he's really an alpha, then that will be the main reason why I shouldn't tell him that we have a son. I turned into her. Mom, you know how much I despise my family because of that position, right? I don't want my son to suffer what I went through. I want him to grow in peace and in love. She sighed, looking so weary. My heart ached thinking about my words. I can't imagine my son going through the same path I went through. And clearly, that man isn't the man who will father my child, because in the first place, he must have felt responsible for the thing that had happened between us. But where is he now? I uttered bitterly. She bowed her head. I know she feels sad about my decision, but that's what I admire about them. They'll get mad, but they'll trust me anyway. I have both of you, Mom, Dad, and Asiel. I can do all things when I'm with you all. She smiled and came in my direction. She opened her arms for an embrace, which I gave her too. I know I can do all this without his help. I'll make sure I'll take that secret into my grave before he could even know about my son, Asiel. You're goddamn late again. Miss Hartz. My boss yelled at me after I went into the locker room to change into my uniform for duty. I'm really sorry, ma'am. My class ended late and I... Again! What more reasons could you tell me, huh? I pay you right, so you should at least level your effort into that money that I'm paying you. I bowed my head. I can sense the other hostess looking into our direction. I wasn't able to finish my wardrobe because of her sudden outburst. I'm really sorry, ma'am. I know it's my fault. Of course, you've been doing that for weeks now. Yes, ma'am. It's because my son had been sick, and I had to take care of him. I don't care about your son. Either he's dying or what, I don't fucking care. We're talking about your capabilities to work here. My tears welled up into my eyes. How can she be this heartless? I lift my head to her, slightly offended. With all due respect, ma'am, I think it's not right for you to speak ill about my son, I said strongly. Her eyes widened a fraction. The surprised facade disappeared after seconds. Her exasperated face is ready to pull some strands of my hair. You thick-faced bitch, you are fired, she yelled and pointed to my face. Now, it's my turn to be shocked. My knees wobbled in fear of losing my job. Ma'am, no, I'm sorry. I can't find the right words to say. She turned her back on me, not minding my words. She even went out of the locker. I followed her. Ma'am, please? I can't lose this job. I need this, please. I begged. I tailed her, but she won't even lend a glance, so I touched her elbow to catch her attention. She's quick to remove my hands, harshly making me fall into the cold tiles of the restaurant. I heard the people's gasps everywhere. People are now for sure looking and watching how pitiful I am. You filthy human. Where's your audacity now? How strong you acted a while ago, and now you're begging for the position? Stop and leave. I don't want to see your face in this place. Tears fell into my cheeks. I crawled to reach her legs so I could beg her, but she just shrugged my hold, making me fall into the floor once again. Ma'am, I'm begging you. I have a son, I cried. Guards, throw this woman out. I don't want to see that face ever again. I wasn't able to do anything. That night I went home to my son and couldn't even bear to look him in the eyes. I'm so guilty to even stare at his mature eyes. How can I tell him that I've lost my job, that I can't provide for him as of the moment? I cried while he was sleeping beside me. I can do this. I can still fight for us. I won't ask for his father's help. I can do this alone. Third person's POV. In one cold night, Lucas entered the large and tall doors of Ace's room. Ace is topless while bathing and having a deep in his round, large tub. The scent of woody and earthy smell is reigning the whole place. The signature scent of the pack, especially the alpha, Ace Cunningham. Alpha, Lucas called. He coldly put down the glass of rum he was drinking. He waited for this day to be done so he can hear the good news he's been waiting for. I've had enough of Olva's shit today. So that better be good news, Lucas, he uttered coldly. She was fired, Lucas said. The side of his lips rose. The adrenaline of wickedness kicked into him. He felt joyous thinking that his plans worked. He told Lucas to manipulate the owner of the restaurant that Ashina had been working on for years. And now that she's fired, it's a mission accomplished for him. What's your next plan, Alpha? Ace glided his tongue inside his cheeks. Silly Lucas, he smirked. You haven't figured it out all this time? He sounded sarcastic. Lucas remained stone-faced. He was just waiting for his master's next command. Make her work in the castle. That's your next task. What? You are fired? I nodded sadly at my mother while looking at my sleeping son. That is nonsense, Ashina. Who will pay for your son's needs then? She sounds mad, but I know she's just worried. I am too, but what else can I do? I never thought my boss would fire me after working for so long for them. I'll find another job as soon as possible. Well, you better do that. You know that you're the only one who works here. How about our needs and all? Thus, I just sighed and nodded. She didn't speak much and just left the room. I know, I understand them. Now I don't know where to start again. Should I just stop going to college? But I'm getting there already. I watch my son sleeping soundly. He's growing day by day. I can't believe that it's been years since I had him. His nose is pointed and his chin is in a perfect shape. He really does look like his father, huh? I won't lie. That passed my mind for a bit, but it's just the thought and it won't count. I'm true to my words. I'll really take that in my grave before he could even know that we have a son. I don't care if he's wealthy or even if he's an alpha like my mother told me. Just no. Never. The day after tomorrow, I started to look for work early in the morning. I made sure I will not miss any shop or any restaurant to check. I'm sorry, but we are not looking for a hostess as of the moment, said the manager that I've talked to. It's a restaurant as well. My forehead crumpled because of confusion. But I saw on the internet that they are hiring because of a lack of manpower. Or maybe this was not it. All right, thank you. I just smiled timidly and she smiled back, but her smile looked so awkward. I walked outside and glanced into her, and she's still looking at me. After a while, a man approached her, and then I fully turned my back to continue looking for work. "Sorry, we're not for hire." The woman raised an eye on me. My lips parted. "This is the 9th restaurant I've went to." "Huh? But the sign outside says that you're hiring," I uttered confusedly. Her expression changed, but soon she was able to cope up. "Oh, we forgot to remove it. We're full and not needing a hostess." My shoulders fell because of sadness. It's almost evening. The sun will soon go down and I'm going to go home and tell Mom that I wasn't able to look for a job. "Perhaps a cleaner, ma'am? Or dishwasher or something. Please, ma'am, I really need a job," I pleaded. "No, I'm sorry, but I'm just doing my job as well." I've completely gotten weak hearing her last statement. My eyes went into my shoes, realizing that I would really go home without work yet. The fact that I skipped my class just to look for goddamn work makes me even more frustrated. But I know a place who needs one. I lift my head with hopeful eyes. She's crossing her arms while in front of me. "Really? Where?" I asked with a slight hope. "You know the castle?" "Sea Castle?" I was confused. "Yeah. You know how big it is that they would always need someone to work for them." "I haven't heard that before," I uttered weakly. She did not speak. She got a piece of paper inside her pocket as if that had been there for a long time and was just waiting for a perfect timing to be out. "What's this?" I said while holding the piece of paper with an address. "Try to apply for them. I heard they pay their workers well." I nodded and smiled big. "Thank you so much," I said to her with so much gratitude. She didn't say anything and just nodded. I happily walked into the road with a feint of hope. I haven't heard about this address before, so I'm really not familiar with it. I don't know where it is, but I'll just wing it. The road is getting gloomy as time goes by. For sure I would go home late today. I still need to find this address, and also I don't know if they're willing to entertain me because it's already evening. Walking in the path I'm taking, I saw a man standing at the end of the lamppost. At first, I thought he's a statue because he's not moving an inch. He's quite tall and lean. Wearing a dark black coat as well as a hat, he's standing under the lamppost while his hands are clasped on his back. My steps halted when his head moved and his eyes went into my direction. My heart skipped a bit because of nervousness. Is he some sort of robber or what? Hello? I uttered with so much awkwardness. I grabbed the strap of my backpack, looking at him nervously. He didn't speak. "Do you perhaps know this address?" I asked and read the address on the paper. He nodded lightly and blinked. I sighed after he did that. I really thought he's a ghost or something. "You're on the right. Do you want me to accompany you?" My eyes lighted. "Oh, no, it's all right. I'm okay." I chuckled. "I live there." "Huh?" I said with shock. The side of his lips rose. I noticed how his eyes have different colors, like a brown and orange tint. "Let's go," he uttered and walked into the direction I'm taking. Though I'm suspicious, I still followed his footsteps silently. I can only hear the wind and the trees that are being swayed. It's taking so long and I'm already getting bored watching his back while walking. I sighed and looked at my foot. I miss my son, really. I hope I can go home with good news. I lifted my face and saw no one. I got nervous. Where is he? The man a while ago? I stopped. My mouth dropped seeing the view in front of me. A castle? It's literally in front of me. I didn't see this while in the distance, like it just suddenly popped out all of a sudden. I look at it with so much awe. It's really a damn castle. It's so bold and gray. It stood there as if it had copied the description from a children's book. It was majestic. Every stone is well squared and well built. The large windows are lighted, and not to mention the entrance. Right. Is anyone out there? Because this castle really looks like no one's living here because of too much silence. How about the man a while ago? I gulped, hearing some howling from far away. Gosh! I hissed and stepped into the stairs so I could knock into the large door. I held the round metal and bang it on the solid wooden wall. I did it for the 3rd time before it opened automatically. I squint my eyes because of the light that's coming inside, which I think is a hallway. But I clearly saw an apparition of a man walking on it. I just can't see it properly because of how bright the light that welcomed me. I heard a clacking of shoes. I adjusted my sight and tried to see the man that's walking with his trench coat swaying. My soul almost left my body seeing his face after my sight adjusted. Ace, appearing in the hallway looking like a cold king in his castle, Ashina's POV. I'm nail into where I am standing. He lives here? Seeing him this close after years made my heart thump in chaos. When did he become this good-looking? Well, he was also good-looking before, but now he's even more good-looking. I think he got much taller and leaner? And his body! Oh my! The slow-mo scene disappeared and was replaced with fear and nervousness when I saw him standing in front of me at the end of that hallway. He stood there without any words, and with his dazzling eyes he roamed me by the head and down to my toes. I shifted to my place because of awkwardness. Scratching my nape, I uttered, good evening. With those few words, I think I was already out of breath. He placed both of his hands on his pocket and cocked his head on the side. Who are you, and what are you doing here? My heart hurt a little. I knew it already, but it still pains me. He really has no idea about me, huh? I know it's just one night stand for him to not remember it, but what about me? Every little thing that had happened that night is still embedded into my mind clearly. I can still feel his touches in my skin, and I can still smell his scent. And of course, the main reason why I can't forget about him is because he had left me our son, Aciel. I heard you're hiring for maids, helper, or anything. His face is still cold, the same Ace I've known before. The only difference is he's way colder now. I think we had just enough. We don't need you here. My mouth parted. The same frustration and shock stroked me, thinking that I'll really be going home tonight with no good news. The same with his harsh words. Ah, all right. I thought you needed one because the people told me to come here, so I explained even when I don't need to. Leave. His single word. I blinked, thinking how rude he was. Damn. All right. I'll leave. With shaking legs, maybe due to tiredness and lack of meal the whole day of finding work, I turned my back and slowly left him. Right? This is much better, Ashina. Working for him is a bad idea. Better go home with bad news than working for him. Yeah. I comforted myself, stepped down the large steps of the stairs of the castle's entrance. Seeing the dark alley in front of me gave me goosebumps, but I shrugged it right away. This is just because of the thought of seeing him again, maybe? I sighed inside my head. It's damn cold. Why didn't I even realize that I'm getting out of this zone alone now? I suddenly remembered the guy who accompanied me a while ago. Where did he go? I heard howling from far away, which gave me even more goosebumps. I looked at the bright round moon in the dark sky. It seems like a déjà vu to me, but this is just a normal thing for me now. That night will for sure be the only thing I can remember every time the moon is bright and round. My breath hitched when I felt a rustling sound from the bushes. My steps halted and tried to see if there's some entity there or something. I waited for a few seconds, but it didn't come. Maybe I'm just too tired, eh? I sighed and continued walking. I focused on real thoughts and not on fiction or other things. I should be thinking about the explanations I should be telling my mother when I go home. In the middle of my walk, I suddenly saw a movement on my peripheral view. My heartbeat went berserk when I turned my head in that direction. I saw a violent movement, and the sound was becoming harsher, like some sort of animal fighting with each other. I don't know if it's just a hallucination, but I really saw an apparition of... I think a dog jumped into the bushes and went after me. I quickly shut my eyes right away, expecting the dog to jump into me. I shrieked and crouched because of shock and fear. But that thing didn't come. In a swift tick of time, I felt a warm thing around my waist, and when I looked up, I saw Ace's face. I'm panting and didn't have the time to think about anything. With a dizzy head, I asked him, "What happened?" I saw a dog jumping. His expression was dark as he roamed his eyes around us like he was looking for something. I pointed at him with a shaking hand. "And how? You're at the castle. Why?" I couldn't continue my words. Before I could even hear any words from him, my world turned like crazy, and I passed out. Ace's POV. I narrowed my eyes on the girl while she's sleeping soundly at one of the chambers in the castle where I brought her. I had to. I hate her, but I had to. Alpha, she will wake up in just a few more minutes now. She had a slight concussion, maybe due to shock and fatigue. I listened to Lucas but didn't utter anything. I stare at her full white hair laying on the bed. Her skin is fair. I didn't remember her being this far before. Her body became more matured and had curves, so different from before. She for sure had a change physically, but still enough for me to tell that it's her. She'll ask me questions when she wakes up. What should I tell her? Lucas asked. I crossed my arms on my chest, still not removing my sight of her. Tell her she's hired, I said. Why didn't you just tell her a while ago that she's hired? Things could have been easier if you did. I glared at Lucas. Why does he always have something to say? Lucas removed his eyes on me and cleared his throat. I'll tell her, he uttered. I sighed heavily. Even though I'm quite skeptical about Lucas's statement, I know he's right. I should have just told her that she's right and that she's really meant to work here in the castle because of the odds that I've ordered. But what can I do? The moment I saw her face in front of me annoyed the hell out of me. I wanted her to feel useless and miserable. So I ordered her to leave. But what are the odds, huh? I watched her walk in the dark alley of the castle. With a slight sense of me, I smelled the familiar scent of a pack. My wits are quick to realize what's going to happen. I followed her immediately, and before the fucking beta wolf. With one quick move, I slit his head to end his illusions. He's clearly after her, and I'm not even surprised that it would happen. The moon is goddamn round and bright. Why didn't I think about that? And if she asks why she's suddenly here? Lucas's question awakened me from my thoughts. Make up stories. Don't tell her that I'm the reason why she's here. He nodded. One more question, he again uttered. I glanced at him. You hate her. Then why did you save her? I clenched my jaw hard. He's waiting for my answer, but I didn't give him anything. I don't know either. I should know more. It is not normal for a beta wolf to sense a human like her. There's something about her that says she's not just a human. I'll make sure to know what it is. The moment I opened my eyes, I immediately knew I'm not in my house. The last thing I can remember is Ace's face and the memory of a dog coming after me. How are you feeling? I almost jumped in shock when I heard a familiar voice. I sat on the bed and looked at the man standing beside my bed. It's the man I saw last night. Where am I? My first words. He's good-looking, and his aura is different from Ace. He's more light and easy to talk to based on his expression, though he still looks mysterious. You're in the castle, he stated. I look around. The first thing that caught my eyes is the Victorian bed frame I'm at. The four poles or the corners are even more, giving a different vibe. Every corner of the room screams a different feel, unlike what's outside the real world. Wait, I'm not even in a fake world. What am I talking about? I chuckled insanely, and that chuckle soon became a laugh. I saw the man's face looking puzzled by my reaction, so I made a blank face right away. He probably thought of me as crazy. So I'm at the castle? He nodded. And Ace brought me here? I continued. He didn't answer for some seconds, but he nodded still. I gulped and nodded. I'm still skeptical about last night. So it's true? I thought I was just dreaming. But how the hell did Ace come for me when I'm already from far away? You're hired. Huh? I turned to him. His lips are in a grim line. I'm what? You're hired, he again uttered. I blinked fast, trying to wait for some words, but we just looked at each other. I spat a laugh after. I held my head because I think I'm still dreaming. I think I need to wake up now. My laugh faded. You are. My smile faded as well. I am? I questioned. He nodded. My mouth dropped. No, that couldn't be. What do you mean I'm hired? I'm not supposed to. I thought you needed work? I was silent for a few seconds. Yeah, but not for that man. But the castle is the only one who can hire you, he stated. I was out of words. I remember how I suffered from looking for work yesterday because every single restaurant or shop is not hiring, and they all are telling me that the castle is hiring and I should go here. And now that I'm here, you start today. Today, I freaked out. Yes. My breath hitched. I saw him walk into the direction of the massive Victorian couch and get something in there. He put that beside me and I just stared at it. That will be your thing. Wait, didn't I need some time to cope up? Why can't I decide for myself? I fought. He didn't answer me. He's just standing there looking so stiff and serious. I sighed and my shoulders feel depressed. I grunted as I saw it was a maid's uniform. Ah! I don't want to work here. Just tell me if you need anything. Change your clothes so I can roam you around the castle. he said. I rolled my eyes. Where are my things? His lips twitched. I eyed the direction he's eyeing. I saw my bag beside me. I sighed and he just left. I changed into the uniform. Looking at my reflection in the mirror made me even more annoyed. I grabbed a handful of my hair while dialing my stepmom's number. I fidget and while hearing the ringing on the other line. Ashina, where the hell are you? It's already morning. Why didn't you go home last night? I shut my eyes. I'm sorry, Mom. I wasn't able to call you because of some unexpected things, but don't worry, I'm fine. That's not the point. Your son is looking for you, and like as if your dad and I are always free. You know we have work, right? I sighed heavily. I'm really sorry, Mom. I promise to go back tonight. She uttered more frustrated words which made me feel burdened. Can I talk to ACL? She spoke words, and I sensed she's really mad at me, but I just ignored her. I just want to talk to my son now. Mommy? Baby? My burdened heart immediately felt warmed hearing his voice. Khalid, this is what I need after all those tiring events. Mommy, why did you not go home last night? I waited for you. My heart hurt a little. I'm sorry, baby. I promise to go home later tonight, all right? Okay, Mommy, I miss you so much. Buy me some toys. He giggled. My tears welled into my eyes. Just when I'm thinking about quitting, I realized that I need to accept this work even though I don't want it. Sure, baby. I miss you too. I love you. Few more seconds and I ended the call. Ready now? What the? My eyes are gleaming with shock while looking at the man behind me. When did he even get here? Yes, I was mad and confused. His eyes were cold as he turned his back on me. What the hell is wrong with these people? They seem to pop out just any time and anywhere. I tailed him just like what I did last night, while feeling so amazed looking at the high ceilings of the hallways and the amazing interior of the castle. There are even torches in the hallways. The curtains are well plated and the sun rays are flashing to the small squares holes at the high walls. These are the other chambers. They are empty? I questioned the man as he explained things here. He nodded. That is one of your duties, to maintain all of it. I pouted. Am I the only maid here? I asked. No, there are plenty of servants here. I'll introduce you to them later. He turned his back and continued walking to the hallways of chambers. My mouth parted. Servants? How am I supposed to react to that? You have a head server here. She'll be the one to tell you about your duties since the duties are well divided. I nodded while listening to him. Whose room is this? I asked curiously, because the entrance of it seems enchanting. The high ceiling entrance has a crest. There's a sculpture of a dog at the sides, and the torch is much bigger. I looked at him because he's just staring at me and not saying any words. Don't ever come here unless someone tells you, he warned seriously. I blinked and just nodded. Okay, that's weird. Why? Is that Ace's room? I hissed while we continued walking. No, I just ignored him. No need to tell me. I don't want to come to his room anyways, so that was it, so far, he said when we reached the last chamber. I clasped my hand to my back and nodded. He then stood in front of me and stared at me. His brown oversized trench coat fits him well. His skin is fair, unlike Ace's. He's much different than Ace, especially if we'll talk about facial characteristics. This man seems more approachable rather than Ace. Wait, why am I even thinking about that man? I've been wanting to ask this since last night, I started. He focused his eyes on me. Who are you? I asked. His expression didn't change at all, even with my intimidating tone. Instead, the side of his lips just rose up a bit before answering. I'm Lucas, he said. I twitched my lips and nodded. I crossed my arms on my chest, acting I'm suspicious of him. Ace's subordinate, he added. I raised a brow. So what are you? Some sort of a right hand or something? I then asked him. Is he your master here? Like the owner of this castle or what? I bombarded him with questions. He cleared his throat after staring at me for seconds. I just raised a brow on him. If that's how you see it. He just said and turned his back and walked into the hallway. I rolled my eyes on him. What does that even mean? I whispered to myself and continued walking with him. He didn't even answer me properly. How am I supposed to know things here if he'll just answer me that way? We went into a large room at the end of the hallway. I saw a long table resting in the middle. The room feels so different, maybe because of the strong rays passing through the large windows. Gloria, Lucas called someone. I saw a middle-aged woman wearing the same uniform as mine. She's currently accompanied by someone who is busy fixing some things at the fireplace just beside the table. The woman glanced at the man who called him. She immediately waved into the ladies also with the same uniform as mine, and they immediately left the scene. I was just left there watching them in awe. Meanwhile, the middle-aged woman came into our direction and bowed into Lucas. I raised a brow, wondering what she was doing. Lucas just lifted his palm, maybe to acknowledge her greetings. "This is Ashina, the new servant." "Servant?" I was offended. He glared at me and saw the middle-aged woman glared at me simply as well. I just cleared my throat and pretended to be all right. "Servant, my ass." "Ashina, this is Gloria, the head servant. She will tell you what you must do." I looked at her and she has this serious, intimidating face. More scarier than my last boss. I just nodded lightly. "I will take care of her, Beta Lucas." She bowed. He nodded back, and he soon turned his back and walked away. He didn't even lend me a glance. He just ignored me and treated me like I did not exist there. "Wait, Lucas. How impolite for a servant like you." My eyes widened and my calling stopped in the air when I heard the woman talking to me. She's staring at me like I made a huge mistake. I shut my lips and bowed my head. "You're ill-mannered to be a servant. Didn't your parents teach you about manners?" Heat traveled from my head to my cheeks. I am offended. What did I even do? Alpha, beta, delta. Is that even hard to say? Or you're just really acting a fool, lady? My breath hitched. What? That is Beta Lucas. You should have known that by now. He even toured you personally. Be beta? I stuttered. Her furrowed, staring at me like I'm sort of an alien or something. Yes, Beta. He's the right hand of Alpha Ace. Didn't you know that? How did you even come here without this information? She said nonchalantly. Come and follow me. I'll tell you your task. She turned his back. My breath hitched as she left me. My knees wobbled in fear and confusion. Beta? Alpha? I may not be that familiar with wolves, but I clearly know about those things. Wolves' classifications are the most basic things to know about them. Alpha Ace, Beta Lucas. Ashina? Yes, I answered. She's waiting for me to follow her. What can I do? My knees become weak hearing all this information from her. I said, follow me, she uttered with diction. I walked into her direction and bowed my head. If you were to be a servant, you must be alert at any time, for the masters will be short-tempered if you serve them late and slow, she scolded. I didn't answer her. I looked at her with a cold face, almost constipated. My lips are cracking because of dehydration. Who would not get dehydrated after knowing all of this information? Miss Gloria, I called. She raised a brow to me and she looked concerned for my well-being. Am I dreaming? She sighed with relief. She shook her head and turned her back and walked. I watched her walk away. Damn it. Aciel's father is an alpha? Mother is right. Ace is POV. Ulva, I told you I don't have time for you, I said on the phone. That's why I'll be the one to visit you, she uttered with a sensual voice. It ringed on my ears and it almost gave me a headache. I don't want to see you. What? I dropped the telephone and continued focusing on the woman I'm watching from the wide-open garden. She's with the head servant, I smirked. The maid's outfit fits her perfectly, huh? Perfect for a servant, I uttered and sipped my rum. I saw how she tripped on the grass, and the head servant even scolded her. I chuckled. She picked up a pile of clay vases, maybe to put it from somewhere, but the vases fell from her hands, and the head servant immediately shrieked at her. I chuckled again. Can't help but to smile seeing her having a hard time in the castle. That's what you miss. Your fault. You shouldn't have let me see you in the first place. You only remind of the shit past, that one night you took advantage of me. Alpha. I stood straight and composed myself. It's Lucas. What now? I said, while still watching the lady suffer nothing. She doesn't know anything. I smirked and raised a brow. How can you say that? She looks innocent. She's not suspicious of anything and just looks at things as normal. Everything's normal, Lucas. I shook my head. This is making me laugh. You really think she's a human? I turned my head to him. He looks serious. I just portray a cool and composed image. Why? What more should she be, huh? He bowed his head. I hate that he can sense whatever it is that I'm sensing. I just think that she's not after being Luna. And why do you say so? I heard from her a while ago, talking to someone on the phone. I became attentive. I gripped the glass hard, sensing where this was going. She called someone baby, and even said, "I love you." I clenched my jaw hard. My breathing became heavier as I tried to not show my fangs out of nowhere. I don't even know why my anger is suddenly getting out of hand. I turned my back to him and went back to the woman in the garden. She looked exhausted. I don't care. I want her to suffer.